life has changed since I last came through here to Atlanta. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy with that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know? I feel like a little kid. They're sitting there going like, oh, the superintendent of the mayoral candidate of the bi-coastal bipartisan with the Middle Eastern crisis. And it's an advanced learning program. The deadline's May 11th. You have to stop the bullying with the superintendent of the mayoral candidate. And a conversation would come around to me. I felt like I was like 8 years old. I'd just be like, did anybody see the YouTube video where the raccoon stole the cat's food and the cat was scratching him and the raccoon didn't care? He just came in like this, like George Foreman, and then he reached out, he had hands. All of a sudden he had hands. I didn't know they had hands. He scooped it up and he ran away on paws. Do you guys know they had hands? Yeah. So now I'm married. So the next move is you're supposed to have a kid, which I would love to do, but I'm 46 years old. I'm just thinking it's too fucking late, you know? Come on, man. I'm going to have a kid. I'm going to die of natural causes when the kid's in 5th grade, right? Throwing him a Frisbee. We used to use these in the 70s. Do a face plant. My kid's standing there. Mom, Dad's sleeping again. Yeah, I feel hopelessly behind. All my friends have kids. Most of my friends who have kids are cool. But I got a couple of those who think now that they have a kid, like that I don't understand anything anymore. You know those people? Most basic shit. Hey, man, it's kind of cold out today. Oh, dude, you don't understand. You don't understand cold. So you got a 2-year-old with a mitten up his ass, and you're trying to get chocolate up the other one's face. It's like, all right, I get it. You have a more complex life, but I still understand being cold. Teeth chattering. Kind of lets me know, right? Mine just turned 6. Mine just turned 7. I just feel hopelessly behind. You know? So what I'm actually thinking of doing, I'm thinking about adopting. You know? Yeah. Absolutely. Recycle. You know? Yeah. Think globally, act locally. Everything doesn't have to be brand new. You know? It's like when you redo your kitchen. You got custom up top, you got IKEA down the bottom. Right? I'd love to adopt. It's a great thing to do. But if I do it, I'm not telling any of my friends. I'm just going to show up with the kid one day just to piss him off, right? Mine just turned 6. Mine just turned 7. I'd love to just show up with an 8-year-old like dominoes. Yeah. Now I get to tell you what you don't understand. 7-year-old, where do they turn to 8? 8 is such a funny age. Terrible, too. Try the instant 8 when just bam, they're just there like, all their issues. Dude, I should do it, though. I should adopt. I think it's a great thing to do. And I already know what I want to get. I do. I want to get like an 07, 08. Always garage. Good dentition. You know what I would love to do? I'd love to rescue some kid that works in a sweatshop. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, find the kid that made this shirt. You show up at the factory like, hey, huh? Hey, bring it in. You maniac. How you doing? You're going back to the States. L-shaped couch, flat screen TV. Get in the car. The rest of you keep sewing. But you, coming home with me. Yeah. Dude, how easy would that kid be to raise? Right? After the hell he's been through, all I gotta do is let him sit down. I am immediately the greatest human being this kid has ever met. Just bring him on. Yeah, man, have a seat. He'd be like, I get to sit down? Yeah, lay down on the couch. He'd be like, it's like a cloud. It's like a cloud. Yeah, I'll get him a bowl of Fritos, put on cricket or soccer, one of those sweatshop sports. I don't know. Kid would love me. So that's my first draft pick. All right? Coming out of the gate with that. In the second round, I'd probably get like an 05 boy soldier. You know? Yeah, sure up the offensive line. You got to protect the blind side. Yeah, that's how fucked up the world is. There's little boys out there fighting in wars. So that's a twofer. I can drag him out of that hell, give him something of what's left of his childhood, and, God forbid, if the dollar ever collapses, right? Shit goes south, zombies take over, I got backup, you know? Everybody thinks I'm gonna be the problem. Meanwhile, I got this sawed-off Chuck Norris standing next to me, 170 kills, confirmed fucking kills. They're not stories. You make a flamethrower out of like a vacuum cleaner and a toaster. You can't coach that, right? I gotta be honest with you, though. I feel like I'd have to go easier on the discipline with the boy soldier, you know? I might be nuts, but I feel like I could come down on the sweatshop kid, all right? I said, get in there and clean up your goddamn room. I'm getting sick of this shit. Goes for you, too, if you want. But you! You've been out of line all day, mister. Don't even start that shit. Don't even start that shit. You say that every time. Yes, you do. Every fucking time you say that. You know the answer. Now, you want me to say it again? Fine, I'll break it down to you, okay? You know what? You know why it is? You know why? You want to know why? Because you're so. All right? Yeah, dude. You so. Dude, he's fucking killed people. You understand that? No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to make his bed, too. No, he doesn't. Because he doesn't sleep in the bed. He's out in the bushes all night talking to himself. Freaking me the fuck out. All right? Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. He scares me, too. He scares me, too. Don't even start that shit. You wanted a big brother, and I got you one. Don't even start that shit. All right? All right, you're right. You're right. Okay, stop crying. Stop crying, okay? Shouldn't have yelled at you. Okay, I just thought I could fucking, bring him in, give him a couple of Pop-Tarts. I figured he'd chill out. Fucking sitting there looking through his eyebrows, doing that Full Metal Jacket shit, Nah, you can't give him back. It doesn't work that way. Oh, hey, there he is! There he is! What's up, buddy? What's going on? Yeah, we were just talking about you, just doing like a little surprise thing. You feeling all right? You feeling all right? You're not looking through those eyebrows, huh? Everything okay?
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? Any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead. I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your own rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. No, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's what, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. I'm sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, all right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak. Right, I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck.
Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they gonna do with the dog? They're gonna take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I gotta work on my temper though. Something I really gotta do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, honestly, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. Oh, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter. Which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film.
And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you? How's it going? All right. You guys standing up? Sit down. Sit down. See if I'm funny. I've been inside for 1.5 years, just like you. All right. It's nice to be out here in Denver, man. It's legal on a state level, but not on a federal level, man. Everybody out here dressing like they're fucking going hiking. Your North Face pajamas and all the shit you guys have. You guys all live inside. So, how have you guys been doing, man? How's your pandemic been? You enjoyed it? You been staying inside? Are you being safe? I am so fed up with these. I ain't being safe. I don't fucking believe in it. It's all a bunch of lies. We're just totally divided. The people that are like, you gotta get vaccinated, you have to wrap yourself in an Afghan, and you gotta cover your face and hold your breath when you look at pictures of people. And then you got the other side, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna have my balls out, walking down the street, because that's what Jesus said in John 13. I read it in my Bible study class. I don't give a fuck. And if I get it, I'm going to the hospital and be like, all right, fix me. You were right. Everybody, all hypocritical, all the liberals, you gotta wear the mask, gotta wear the mask. And half of them, when they talk, they're pulling it down. They got that up under their fucking nose. Then the other assholes, they were all patriotic for years. America, love it or leave it. Support the troops. You know, I can get the fuck out. America, love it or leave it. All right, take the vaccine. Well, I don't trust the government. Where the fuck did that come from? I thought you were all about it. I thought you were waving the flag and all of that shit. Listen, here's the deal. We're never gonna solve this shit until we all get on the same page, which we know is never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So, we gotta set up some Hunger Games shit to solve it. And whoever wins, wins. It's the non-vaxxers versus the vaxxers. So there's a giant field. And all the people who don't want to get the vaccine. All the fatties and the fucking lunatics, right? You gotta fucking run the length of the field and try to make it to the other side while there's a helicopter flying over you and they're shooting the vaccine down at you. Right? Now I know what you're thinking. Well, that ain't fair, man. I'm running in my shit kickers. You're up there in a helicopter. You got a gun. Well, here's how we eat. It's a liberal with the gun. Right? They're not good at that. Oh, my God, is it alive? Is it going to hit me? I don't feel safe. And by then, you're already halfway there. One of the straps of your overalls is off. You can make it to the other side in the end. Just like dodgeball. We'll see. We'll just score it. Who won? It's an idea. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I've kind of quit. I got to be honest with you. For the first, year of this shit, I was an American, and I was rooting for everybody. And then, I don't know, they let us outside for a couple of weeks, and then they sent us back in. And I just didn't have it in me anymore. It's like, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. I hope a lot more people die. I really do. But the one good thing about this whole pandemic shit, and I really hope by the time this fucking thing comes out, that this will be considered old. I don't know. God willing. But the one great thing about this pandemic shit is it kind of slowed down a little bit of that cancel culture. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of hard to take your dick out at work when you're at home. You know? Some people still manage to do it. They were in some call, no pants on. All of a sudden standing up, their junk right in the screen. Still figured out a way to get fired. It was unreal. It's kind of good, though, that, you know, those creeps got to take a break, because I felt like cancel culture, they were kind of running out of people to cancel, you know? As much as they wanted to make it seem, there really was a finite amount of people that took their dick out at work. Despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, huh? Every 1.6 seconds? I must not have been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit! I didn't know that happened, right? Yeah, so fortunately, they rounded up all of these fucking animals and they got rid of them, right? But it kind of became like this cottage industry, and it was a way to kind of get rid of some men that maybe were in your way, you know? It's like anything. It always, like, you know, the initial thing, you agree with it, and then it kind of gets out of control. So, I don't know. They kind of ran out of people, and there was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel, like, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid-ass woke white people, right? Oh, my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of fucking white people, all up in arms, about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people. It's fucking idiots. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? You know, if you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out.
10 episodes are available to binge watch. Bill Burr, welcome to Good Day New York.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, the show is so funny. I mean, I'm just, is it based on your real life, or is it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely based on my life, but it's, Frank is the character that I play. He's an amalgam of kind of everybody's dad in the writer's room, and he's an old school dad. Like, when I was a kid, you were, like, afraid of your dad. Like, he pulled in the driveway, he'd come in the front door, we'd all run out the back door.
Right, wait till your father comes home,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's more of that era. It's not this, you know, era now where your kids are like friends with their dad. I was like afraid of my dad. Not in a bad way. Like, I just knew that, you know, when he came home that
things were going to fly.
Yes, your behavior. We used to shut the TV off and like pick up books pretending to be like reading. And I remember he used to, like, you know, if he was in church, he had like the loudest snap. And if you guys were talking too loud, he just bam like that, and everybody just shut up, and then you knew you were going to get it later.
You mean get it? You know, it's fun. You get on stage, you talk about topics that are kind of taboo, but you make them really, really funny.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
yes,
least
and
two
I wanted
episodes.
to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
You know
I want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I like it.
Daytime
Thank you for
TV.
being
Came on.
positive.
That kid was
Positive.
missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were
watch-
joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
So F is for family. I mean, it's really politically incorrect before politically incorrect was even a term.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of that stuff. What you were saying earlier, you talk about taboo subjects. It's like nothing I really talk about. It's not that people aren't talking about all of this stuff. It's just that it's sort of a way that people talk when they get on a stage or something like that. But it's not like, you know, people they laugh because they're already talking about it. So it's not that big a deal.
We all have dark thoughts sometimes, but you go there in public and you do it, even though it's edgy, kind of make it safe in a way.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? I'm just talking. I mean, it's not
Right.
like I'm not doing anything insane. I will tell you, though, I did stand up here 2 shows last night, and I cannot believe New York crowds now.
Why?
It is so like, oh.
They were doing
I don't-
that during
yeah, I
the
moved
show?
here. I remember when I moved here in '94. It was like, you remember Alphabet City? You were taking your life in your hands, and there was like junkies and stuff like that. So it was just really like a lot harder than to like even like impress people. And now, I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They
When-
call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification,
Oh,
whatever.
was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
This
F
town
is-
has changed.
F is for family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean
No.
up?
We got something. We got
You
something.
found
We got
something.
something.
Wow.
We got
Might be a couple of
something.
beeps.
Is
Check it
this
out.
just the intro song?
Not hamburger assistant again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
This guy really speaks to me. Good stuff, Bill.
It's a
thank
little
you.
Archie Bunkerish, a little, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time. And when we did, like, the 70s, we wanted it to look like how I remember the 70s, where Hollywood kind of always makes it look like everybody had a lava lamp and dressed like Ron Burgundy. This is more like the sort of Rust Belt Serpico 70s. Like, you know, anytime you see a movie about, like, the 70s, everybody has a car from the 70s. It was like, there was, you know, people didn't have money. They'd have a car from the 60s. So if you look, there's a lot of... That's one of my favorite things to like pick out what car they're gonna have. Like Frank drives like an old like Ford Galaxy-esque type car before Ford comes at us for money.
You're right. The movies from the 70s, they overdo it. They all overdo it when they're going retro, right?
Well, they make it seem like when the Pacer came out, like everybody thought that was a good-looking car. It was a weird car.
With the big window?
Yeah, me and my mother looked at it. That is the ugliest piece of you-know-what I've ever seen in my life. But they made it seem like everybody in the 70s had like a lava lamp and thought that was a good-looking car.
So, Bill, do you Google yourself? Because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So, like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
But why would you even respond on
Everybody is
Twitter?
sassy online, not in your face.
Sassy.
Why-
Exactly. This is New York. Back in the day, I would walk on stage. Someone would have said that, and I would have had to fight my way out of it, and it would have been a tough set. And this person's just, everything's like so covert now.
I feel bad because, by the way, you're ripped.
Huh?
You're in pretty good shape.
But why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. I like going back and forth, and then you can usually... Well, this is my deal. If you actually have a picture of yourself, then I'll go back and forth. But if you just have, like, the little egg thing there, like those, you know, 2 followers, then those people, it's like, you just came up with an account or whatever, or you just go around trash people. To me, that's like a cowardly thing. But, like, you know, if I can see you, you know, and you're out of shape, or maybe you're ugly or something like that, I'll go right for it. I'll get real childish.
Growing up, by the way, with the mother with the hairbrush and the dad, where was that? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside Boston, Massachusetts. The safe suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. Because ever since Good Will Hunting, everybody thinks, you grew up in Southie and you stole cars and you asked people about apples.
They overdid it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Christian background.
No, nobody overdid Southie back then. Like, I'm just saying I was not that, I was more of a, cul-de-sac street hockey playing kid.
Bill Burr.
F
like
is
the
for
moon.
family.
There you go.
F is for family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset, and I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill,
why did you bring it up?
I'm
It's
sorry.
a morning show. This is supposed to be an easy one.
You know what happens? 9 o'clock, it all becomes daytime, so you got more license. Bill Burr, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone,
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy. What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so,
Here he's go. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people are
cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that Believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? I was making fun of the military, which you can't do now. Like, we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, hey, man, you're like a baby killer, man, to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? Show that you're not in ISIS. Like, I don't know what you have to be doing. Like, thank you. It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did he really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just
Always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to like thin out the herd, and it's too late. No, these are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after like 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said whores. You're both wrong. I said horse.
Oh, horse. Horse. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. That's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole,
And kind of hope that somebody does something.
Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still, they won't let you...
Now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at me groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem?
The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball, and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press.
You're having a full-on breakdown.
I am not. You're just not listening.
I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got... And then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you... You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah. You don't like
why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices?
Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. Just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled, grabbing your wig, you know, suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like, make it like a high-end store. Like, you're going to, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot,
feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're gonna go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down, and then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out at these? It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's just a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.